Hey everyone, it's Mike. I'm back doing another video. I finally had some things to show and some inspiration to actually have, I don't know, just a reason to make videos. Lately, I've just been kind of uninspired. I don't know, trying to come up with new ideas of things to show and trying to get inspired from other people doing things, but I don't know, I just haven't been that inspired lately. So today I've got some things, some new records, and some things to talk about. So what I want to cover, some birthdays of some albums and people in the music business that I uh, love to listen to and inspired by and all that. Went to a concert, um, the last concert of the year for me. I kind of went through a blitz of a bunch of concerts all kind of clumped together, and this was the last one for the year, I think, unless something comes up. But as far as I know, this will be this is the last one. And went to a record show. Actually, as long as I've been into vinyl, which is since I was 13 years old, this is actually the first record show I've ever been to, and it was down in Tucson, Arizona. And my girlfriend and I and my kids, we all jumped in the car and drove down to Tucson and attended our first record show. And that was a lot of fun and found quite a few things that are right up my alley. And it was an interesting experience. I don't know, it's kind of what I expected, but it was a really small one. It wasn't like one of these huge auditoriums. It was just this little, uh, I don't know, like a police, law enforcement, like union kind of building structure. I forget what it was, but it was something to that effect, and a pretty small little place, and it was just full of uh, middle-aged white men with ponytails, mostly looking for, I don't know, God knows, a lot of records that I have no interest in collecting, but they did have a few things that I had to pick up, couldn't pass up. So I'll be showing those. And then a Grail. I found a Grail, not there, not at the record show, but I found one on eBay. It was a record that I've been hunting for ever since I decided to start collecting records again, and finally found a copy. Not only was it, it was like, anyway, I'll go into details when I get to it anyway. So let's start with some really sad news in my music world. The drummer, singer, founding member of the band Low out of Duluth, Minnesota. Their beautiful voice, their vocalist Mimi Parker passed away just a few days ago from cancer. And I don't know, a lot of these deaths that happen in the music world, they're like, oh, that's really sad or whatever. But this one really hit me. I don't know. Maybe it's like just the tone and atmosphere of their music. When you listen to it, it's already kind of sad. Gorgeous, beautiful, but kind of sad. And then to listen to it knowing that she's gone is really, it's really tough. But I've been listening to it. This album here, the curtain, sorry, the curtain hits the cast. This one was the first one that I ever got of theirs on CD, and I've been a fan of theirs ever since. Back when this came out, I think it came out in '96. So I've been a fan of theirs since then. The album that came out, I don't know how many albums later. It might have been the one right after this one, The Secret Name. I saw them in concert for that. It was hardly a concert. It was more like a gathering in a record store. Everybody sat on the floor and just listened to them play music. It was a really tiny indie record store called Stinkweeds here in Phoenix. It used to be located in Mesa, and now they've moved to downtown Phoenix. But back when they were in Mesa, I saw Low perform there, and it was just awesome. Really good time to see them because I really enjoyed like the first four, five, six albums of theirs. I think is their best work personally. I like their new stuff too, but I really like their old stuff. Anyway, Mimi's gone, and it really sucks. And I've been listening to them a lot lately. If you don't know, their music is really, they call it, the nickname for the genre they're in is called slowcore, and I guess that fits. It's just really like just very dreamy, slow, sparse, but just absolutely just painstakingly beautiful music. Definitely check them out. Anyway, this is their third album. I love this. This is the only one I have on vinyl so far. I'm looking to get more. Usually the only things I find on vinyl are their newer stuff, and I'm trying to find some of their older albums. But anyway, check them out. Really sad. We're going to miss you, Mimi. I was actually supposed to see them in concert this month. They were supposed to come and play at the Musical Instrument Museum in Scottsdale. And the date was there, but they didn't have a tickets on sale yet. And then it just disappeared off the website. And I'm like, what's going on? I guess they're not touring. And then this just came out of the blue. I had no idea she was even sick. So really sucks. Anyway, that's low. Next one. Birthday. Tin Drum, Japan, their last album. 41 years old. This came out in 1981. Happy birthday to David Sylvian and his really awesome album, Tim Drum. It's my favorite album of theirs. So happy birthday, Tim Drum. This next one, Cocteau Twins, The Moon and the Melodies, their collaboration with Harold Budd. 1986 this came out, so it's 36 years old. Happy birthday to The Moon and the Melodies. Fantastic album of theirs. Half of it's instrumental, half of it Liz Fraser sings on, and it's just wonderful, one of their best. Happy birthday. Next one, Echo and the Bunnymen, Songs to Learn and Sing compilation. This came out in 1985. Yeah, 1985. So it's 37 years old. Happy birthday to this one. It's fantastic. It's got some of their best songs on it. Check that. If you're going to start with Echo and the Bunnymen, I would definitely recommend starting with this first and then branching out to their studio albums. Anyway, happy birthday. The Smiths, Hatful of Hollow. This came out in 1984, so it is 38 years old. God, it just makes me feel so freaking old. Love this. It's got How Soon Is Now, which is my favorite Smith song, is on this, so love it. The Smiths. Last one, last birthday, Andy Partridge, the singer, the genius behind, or most of the genius behind XTC. Colin Moulding deserves a lot of credit too, but Andy Partridge, his birthday, he's 69 years old. So happy birthday, Andy. Love your music. This is one of my more recent acquisitions. I got it at Amoeba when I went to go see Beach House in concert out there. And anyway, love it. It sounds amazing on vinyl, this reissue. Check them out. Love it. So next thing, concerts. I went to go see my last concert of the year. Wearing it right now. I got to see Agent Orange finally. I've been listening to them ever since I was a high school kid. Surf punk, skate punk, whatever out there in the Gulf Coast of Florida growing up. Agent Orange was one of the main bands, punk bands for us in my crowd. We all listened to punk, but Agent Orange was one of the top, most popular bands back then. Mostly skating, because there really wasn't a lot of surfing going on in the Gulf Coast of Florida. It's not really a surf place, but they like to pretend. They like to, it's kind of more like boogie boarding than surfing. But anyway, I went to the concert. About the concert, it was really kind of crappy. It was in Tempe, Arizona, Yucca Tap Room. Never seen a show there before. And the band did not do a sound check before they went on stage. And Mike was the only original band member is Mike. I think one of the band members died, and I don't know, maybe the other one did too. I'm not sure. But it was just Mike and then these other two guys. One of the guys had been with them for a long time, the bassist. Not the original bassist, and then the drummer was kind of new to them. But anyway, they didn't do a sound check, and they started playing the songs, and you couldn't hear Mike's voice at all. Like, it was just guitar, bass, and drums. You couldn't hear his voice, and you really want to hear his voice because he actually is a really good punk vocalist. Couldn't hear his voice, and his guitar was so distorted and so loud and just kind of over the top that you really couldn't even understand the melody of what was going on. You're like, I don't even know what song they're playing. Like, you could almost kind of tell from the drums and the bass what song, but the guitar was just so over I don't know what it was. It was just really distorted and really couldn't make it out. But eventually, like, they kept stopping and starting and stopping and starting and messing with the controls and messing with everything. They finally, like halfway through the show, they were playing the song Living in Darkness, and it finally sounded like okay, I know the song. It sounds like them. I can hear his voice. I can hear him singing. We can sing along to the song, and it got better at that point. It still ended up being a great show, but it really started out pretty shitty. But anyway, it was awesome to see them finally. And then so that weekend, that same weekend, we drove down. Like I said at the beginning of the video, we drove down to Tucson for a record show, and one of the first tables we went to, they had a punk section, and sure enough, they found it's kind of a Grail. It's kind of a mini Grail. This one. This is not the Grail that I'm talking about. I'll talk about the main Grail at the end of the video. But this is definitely something I've been looking for. I used to have this back when I was in high school, and like an idiot, like all the other stuff, I've sold a lot of stuff in the age of CDs. And I finally got this back in my collection. It's got Bite the Hand That Feeds Part 2, which is one of my favorite of their instrumentals. And it sounds really good on vinyl. The versions that you find digitally, like on iTunes and stuff, it's not the same version. It sounds weird. This is the version that I definitely prefer. So this is on Enigma original. It's kind of beat up around the edges or whatever. It's got some edge wear or whatever, but I don't care. It doesn't. And the record sounds great. I've cleaned it, and it's got a little bit of noise, but the songs are so freaking loud, and you play it loud that you really can't. It's not like quiet music that you can hear all the pops and scratches and stuff. You really can't hear it at all with music like this, so it's fine. So I'm really glad I got this in my collection. And then right next to it, right there in the same bin, was Bitchin' Summer EP, which has got their version of Pipeline, their cover of Pipeline. Let's see, it matches my shirt. I'm really happy to have this in my collection as well. So I'm good with Agent Orange now. I've got their first full-length album, and I've got these 2 EPs. Posh Boy, their original label that this came on, not a reissue. So yeah, it's beat up too, but it sounds freaking fantastic. The vinyl sounds fine, so I'm really happy getting that as well. Next thing at the record show, actually I made a list, and my girlfriend printed it out, and she gave out printed copies to my kids too. So they were all looking with their printouts, looking through bins. I don't know how good they were going to be at like flipping through, because they don't really know what they're looking for. They don't know what the album covers look like, and I do, so I could just flip through really fast, and I know if it's there or not. But anyway, I came across this was on my list of things to get. Zymox, their first album, Clan of Zymox, 4AD Records, just one of the old school 4AD bands that came out back when the Cocteau Twins and Dead Can Dance and all that stuff. This is a kind of a dreary goth, kind of electronic goth kind of music. Really kind of baritone vocals, really good. I got this back when I was in college, like a freshman in college. I got this album and their second album, Medusa, and I really liked them a lot. And I don't know, just I sold the records and just kind of lost contact with it, and I've been listening to them a lot lately, just on Spotify, and I'm really happy to get this back on vinyl. Really nice copy, 4AD Records, inner sleeve, immaculate, no seam splits or anything. Really nice, good copy. Yeah, this is on 4AD, not Relativity. This is an original UK import on 4AD. So anyway, Clan of Zymox. Check them out. They're pretty awesome. If you like that 4AD kind of stuff and you haven't heard them, here's the labels, 4AD. Next one. These are a couple of more mini grails. Every time I see these albums on people's videos, and I'm jealous every freaking time, and I usually will comment on their video. I'm so like angry that you got this or that you saw that at the store, and I haven't been able to see it in the wild anywhere, and I just don't want to pay like a ton of money for these records, because I feel like I could get them for a good price, and I sure enough did. I got these for like 12 bucks a piece. The Soul Mining first album, love this album, and I'm really happy to finally have a nice copy of it. It's really just a really nice clean copy. I haven't done all the research to find out if these are like actual originals. It's on Epic, or if these are just like early represses. But anyway, I don't really care. It's fantastic. It's nice. It's beautiful. It's clean, and it sounds great. So really happy to bring this into my I always had it like on CD or cassette back in the day. I never had these on vinyl, so really happy to have that. And when I say they, I mean the fact that I have more than one. I got the Infected. Now this is an original. It's still in the shrink. Still has the original hype sticker. It says it's talking about how this is the new Matt Johnson Infected album featuring, and it just goes into all this information that tells you that this is a brand new. It's not some like reissue hype sticker or anything like that. So anyway, on Some Bizarre and Epic. Love this album as well. I remember listening to this on cassette back in college days. Really nice clean insert, no seam splits. It's not falling apart. It's in really good condition. Again, 12 bucks. It's like, good Lord. I couldn't possibly, I was so excited to see this. It's like goosebump moment. Anyway, so their first two albums, really happy to have those. $5, picked this up. I always wanted to have this at some point. I think I had this on cassette as well back in the day. Human League's Dare with the song Don't You Want Me Baby. Also, well, just Don't You Want Me, but it's also got Love Action on it, which was another MTV hit, video hit. $5, can't pass it up. The inner sleeve looks nice. Yeah, so I was really like hitting some good 80s stuff at this record sale. It was mostly like prog and classic rock at this record show, but everybody seemed to have like a little bin of like 80s stuff and punk stuff. So I was able to score on a lot of this 80s classics, staples. These are like 80s staples for everybody. Howard Jones's first album, Humans Lib. I've always liked this. I always think it's just really a nice album to listen to. And I remember having this back in the day on cassette, I'm sure. And I would just listen to the whole thing all the way through. I don't know. It's nice. I enjoy Howard Jones. Some people might make fun or whatever. It's not edgy enough. It's like really, squeaky clean. But I enjoy his music on Elektra Records there. Howard Jones, Humans Live. I think that was $7. This one I was really happy to get. I saw, she has her new box set out, and I was hoping to find like maybe a reissue or something, but I ended up getting this at the record show. Parallel Lines, with literally one of my all-time favorite songs, Heart of Glass, is on this. Love it, and it's an extended kind of version of it. I don't know if I ever listened to the album version. I think I always listened to the single version of Heart of Glass, and this one's definitely extended beyond that. But it doesn't sound like a cheesy like dance remix. It's just the normal song, but it's just a lot longer. Love this album. This is if it's not a first press, it's an early press. It's definitely early. Chrysalis Records, Chrysalis, whatever. The insert is looking pretty decent. It's a little bit old, worn for wear, whatever, but it's in good shape. Album sounds great. I thought for sure when I listened to the record that the vinyl was going to pop and click all around all the hits on this. Damn it. I'm like trying to grasp this. It's got Hanging on a Telephone, One Way or Another. It's got Sunday Girl. I love that song. And Heart of Glass. And I thought for sure I was going to hear lots of pops and clicks around those songs because people just dropped the needle right there and, damaged the record. But, man, it is clean. It sounds fantastic. It sounds wonderful. No skips, no pops, no nothing. Really happy to have this. Now, that's the end of my record show. I think I'm going to show like a little clip of what the record show looked like at the very beginning of this video. So if you're wondering what that poorly photographed record show looking thing at the beginning of this clip, if you're wondering what that was the Tucson show. So anyway, that's the stuff that I got at the show down in Tucson. Really great trip. Really got some great stuff. I put some things back that I kind of wish I hadn't put back. Kim Wilde's first album I put back, but I'll find it again. Fate will bring her to me again. I'm not too worried about it. So here's the Grail. This is an album that goes for anywhere from $80 to $150 on Discogs. Never seen it for cheaper than like $80. And I really didn't. I just really hate to spend that much money on something. I really like try to look for a bargain, and or a reissue that's priced at like $35 would be nice. Excuse me. But this one showed up on eBay, and this guy he dealt in memorabilia. Not He wasn't a record seller. He was a memorabilia seller, and he really dealt with like knickknacks and whatever things that were autographed by celebrities. And he had this listing, and it showed up because I looked for the band. I wasn't looking for memorabilia or autographs or anything. So this is the record that I've been wanting, and I don't think he knows what he had because he was selling it for like under $40, and it had the band autographs, and I've seen their autographs. I know, and this guy is like 100% memorabilia, 100% rating memorabilia dealer, with thousands and thousands of sales. So I don't think he's like pushing off fake fake autographs. And I asked him about the record itself, and he really didn't know how to grade it. He just said it looks good, like the vinyl looks like there's no scratches. That's really all the information he could give me. So I kind of just went with it and ordered it just in case it was really a good condition record, and it is. This is the Throwing Muses' Real Ramona. One of my favorite, if not my favorite, Throwing Muses album. Tanya Donnelly was still with the band at the time, before she left to do Belly, and it's got Kirsten's autograph and Tanya's autograph, and it's 4AD, first UK press. It's not the Sire, it's 4AD, and it's wonderful. I'm so happy to have this. It does have a seam split at the top and a little bit of a corner dings, but for the most part, it's in really good condition for the cover, and it's got their fucking autographs on it, for Christ's sakes. And then the inner sleeve looks really good. Actually, it's mint. It's like still crispy, just really nice. No bends, no creases, no nothing. So the inner sleeve is perfect. The record, I still need to clean it and listen to it, but I don't see anything on the surface other than dust, wherever this has been stored or whatever. That's all I see on it. I don't see any scratches or any scuffs or any kind of damage to the vinyl itself. So I'm like so stoked to have this, and to get it for less than half of what Discogs is charging, plus, I don't know. I mean, you get autographs on it, and you can charge like another $50 to $100 extra for that. And this guy just was selling it, just thinking it was just some record, whatever. And it's got some autographs. So anyway, I'm really happy about this one. And anyway, that was kind of the momentum to give me that, and Mimi Parker passing away. I wanted to say something about that too. But that's what's going on in the music world in my corner. And I hope you all are having a great weekend and enjoying some cool weather. Hopefully it's not too cold where you are. And I love you guys for watching my videos and your comments. I appreciate that. If you like the stuff, great. Let me know in the comments whatever interactions you've had with these records, because I'm sure everybody who watch my videos have some kind of story to tell about their life with such and such record. I'm sure this stuff isn't too obscure. I think everybody knows all of these bands. That's why I didn't go into too much detail about them. But anyway, have a great weekend, and love you guys. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. See ya.